What's up, y'all? It's Ty. In this video today, we're going to be going over talking about each and every one of the new Rivals cards added to College Football 25 Ultimate Team today. Remember, these Rivals cards are interesting because if you use them, it is a +5 for the team chemistry for that specific squad. You can, though, change their team chemistry. That is something last week they basically said you weren't going to be able to change team chemistry and then switched it up because the community got super mad. So I'm glad they switched it up. We'll take a look at each and every one of the cards that didn't get released today or is going to be coming to the game. As we do dive into it, if you are new to the channel and have not yet, make sure you guys do smash that subscribe button. Really do appreciate all of the recent support on the channel. You guys are amazing. Let's start off Johnny Daniels, 87 speed, 86 acceleration, decent carrying. I mean, he's an elusive back. I just don't love him. You know, 87 speed at this stage of the game is just fine. It's not great. The card's going to be okay. Johnny Daniels is fine, but he's just not a card like I'm like, yeah, go pick up Johnny Daniels. The card's going to be a stud. He's fine. Do what you guys got to do. He's not a beast, though. Next up, we do see Danny Strigow from Minnesota. I mean, 85 speed, 86 acceleration, decent tackling, decent block shed, power move, finesse move, okay. I mean, the card is fine, but he's just not great at anything. You know, he's decent speed, decent pretty good speed for a right end, I'd be honest. Gonna get after the quarterback, decent. Block shed, decent. Like, he's just an all-around fine right end in the game. There's nothing really crazy about Danny Strigow. He is just a fine right end that you guys can play, can use in this game. But there's nothing like game-breaking good. Like, if you want to use this card, he's gonna hold it down fine. But again, he's just not great. And that's for me. I like balanced cards overall for the most part. But again, what is he really doing at an elite level? I don't know. Marcus Harris up next. I got to look up his height. If you're going to play this card at the cornerback position, you got to know what you're getting. So I'm going to look that up. And as I do, 87 speed, 87 man coverage. Overall, just a solid card. He is 5'11", but decent man coverage, decent zone coverage. I just wish the card was taller is the main thing that I see for Marcus Harris. If he was slightly taller, I'd probably hype the card up slightly more. Again, decent speed, decent acceleration. Overall, fine. But again, just wish the card was slightly taller. 5'11", not great, but decent in coverage. I don't hate this card whatsoever in Marcus Harris. Devin Kirkwood up next. Look at the stat difference. And I want you guys to determine who's the better option. It's not even close stat-wise. I mean, stat-wise, Marcus Harris walks circles around Devin Kirkwood. Genuinely, he does. Now, let's look at Devin Kirkwood's height. And obviously, there are some things on the card that could change. Like, we don't know the change of direction yet. So those are things that obviously could change. Kirkwood is 6'3", though. And so that's a big difference. So if Kirkwood, let's say, has a way better change of direction, that obviously is going to matter. When I'm comparing the cards, though, Marcus Harris stat-wise is better. It really, to me, Kirkwood doesn't do anything at a crazy good level. If he does have a solid change of direction rating in man coverage, the card can obviously still play at 6'3". I just don't love him. He's fine, though. Isaiah Hamilton up next. Another corner. I mean, my goodness. Another corner. He is an 89 overall, but it still has an 87 speed. I don't know, man. To me, though, that's just the one thing. Like, if you're going to be at 89 overall, I wish you'd have just slightly better speed. He is 6'1", 88 acceleration, really good in zone coverage. I just wish he was a little bit faster. Again, if you're going to be an 89 overall, I'd like to think the speed would be just slightly higher, but 87 speed, he is what he is. He's a fine zone cover corner, but not my favorite zone cover corner in the game. Riley Malman up next, right tackle from Wisconsin. Good pass blocker, good run blocker. He's a solid overall right tackle in this game. And he shouldn't be super expensive. So like a budget-ish option at that right tackle position. Again, he's just fine. A balanced right tackle. And like I said, when I was going over the defensive cards, I like balanced cards. Riley is going to be exactly that. A balanced right tackle for your specific squad that you can pick up, run, and have a lot of success with. Jake Mekula up next, left guard, better pass blocker than run blocker, but another solid card for you guys. Offensive lineman, I feel like in the stories of the week we saw, we've seen a lot of offensive linemen. We're getting more and more of them in the game. Solid, left guard in the game. Kind of, I don't know, I'd have to compare his stats side by side to Pregnon, but that's kind of what he reminds me of. So between him and Pregnon, maybe get the cheaper option, but definitely a solid left guard you can pick up and have some success with. Now, to our good cards. Blake Shapen, remember, for this card, guys, you can grind Squad's Gauntlet. I don't play it. I won't play it. But you can grind Squad's Gauntlet. And if that's what you want to do, you get Blake Shapen up to a 92. Probably, gets better throwing stats, gets a better speed. Really interested to see what that throw accuracy stat looks like, as well as does he throw a tight spiral. If those two things are good, Blake Shapen has the potential to be one of the best quarterbacks in the entire game. I really like what this card does provide on the field. An absolute stud quarterback in the game. Next up, after Blake Shapen, we do see Cody Lindenberg from Minnesota. Gophers. Now, here's the deal. Not going to get after the quarterback. He's not. But he's got good speed. He's going to play the run really well. I'm interested to see what that zone coverage looks like. And I'm going to look up his height right now. But I'm interested to see what that zone coverage looks like. He is 6'3", so good height, good block shed, good tackler. Not going to get after the quarterback super well. It's not horrible. 77, 73. It's not horrible, but it's not great. Not going to want him rushing the passer. I am interested to see what that zone coverage looks like. Because if it's good, he can play at a really high level. If it's not good, I think he's limited in how good the card can be. So, jury's still out on Cody Lindenberg on how good he can be on this game. Aidan Keanaaina, I don't even know how to pronounce his name. Keanaaina, I don't know if that's how you pronounce it or not. Defensive tackle from California. 78 speed, good strength, good block shed pass, solid power move. Do wish the card maybe was a little quicker, because like a Quinnen Williams, Walter Nolan, I still think are going to be slightly better than this card, but he's fine. Like a genuine fine defensive tackle that's going to stop the run, clog up the running lanes. He should at a pretty high level. He's fine. Again, not my favorite 91, but again, he's fine. Remember, all these 91s can be upgraded. Here's the situation at the tight end position. I don't hate Matavao at all. I don't. I just think the problem is the tight end position right now on this game is so stacked. I mean, from the Hunter Henrys of the world to the Jack Vellings of the world to the Theos that we got as an LTD on Wednesday. We've just got so many good tight ends. And so I don't even hate Matavao at all. It just comes down to like the tight end position right now in the game is stacked. It's just tough for me to hype up a card like this when the tight end position is what it is, as stacked as it is. If you want this card, do what you got to do. But again, he's just another tight end. Now, again, if you upgrade this card, winning gauntlet squads, he could be next level good. But I don't know. For me to hype the card up right now, it just doesn't seem like it's worth it. TJ Dottery up next. Card I like. 89 speed, 91 acceleration, great tackler, great zone coverage, solid block shed. There's no flaws in this card. Like, what are the flaws? Might not get after the quarterback that well. Who cares? He's got great speed, great acceleration. I do want to see the change in direction stat on this card. That's one thing at the time I'm recording this. I don't know what it is. So, like, again, we'll have to see. But the rest of this card looks really, 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 really good. And so that's the one thing. I'm looking up his height right now for us. He's 6'1". Maybe we'd like to see him a little bit taller, but that's the same height as a guy like Jay Higgins. I think Dottery is going to be a stud on this game. Definitely a card you can pick up, use at a really high level. Do want to see what that change of direction stat looks like, but I'm guessing it's going to be good. He's a pass coverage out, middle linebacker, has solid block shed, can play the run as well. I do like TJ Dottery on this game. Next up, Jaheim Thomas, another middle linebacker. Wait, what? We're getting two different middle linebackers on this game. Okay, side by side, let's compare. Jaheim Thomas, speed isn't as good. Acceleration isn't as good. Strength's not as good. Tackling's a little bit better. Hit power is better. Zone coverage a little worse. To me, off initial looks, Dottery looks better than Jaheim Thomas. Now, obviously, we still don't know the change of direction stats. We still don't know all of, everything to know about these cards. Thomas is 6'4", so he has that going for him ahead of TJ Dottery. These cards are close. Again, the hit power, obviously, of Thomas is going to be better as well for some more fumbles. So, I don't hate either of these cards. I don't know if either of these cards are elite middle linebackers. But what I will say is this. Expect the overall price of middle linebackers to go down in the game today. So Jay Higgins, for example, should lose some value today. Even a guy, let's say like Manti Te'o. These are cards that could lose a lot of value because both of these middle linebackers can play. I don't know which one's for sure better yet. We'll have to see. But both the cards can play. Then we see Leyrer. I don't even know. Leyrer up next. 94 strength, great pass blocker, great run blocker. This card is a stud. At the left tackle position, Leyrer is an absolute beast. 94 strength, great pass blocker, good run blocker. There are no flaws in this card. This card is an absolute stud, and it doesn't feel right me gassing a left tackle this much, but Leyrer can play. Leyrer can play at a really high level. I'm not good with words. I don't even know how YouTube's my job, but this card's really good. Definitely a left tackle for me. That if he's not super expensive, I like balanced offensive linemen. I could pick him up and run the card. Is that it until we get our LTDs? No, we get another defensive tackle, and oh boy, buckle up, because I like what Bear Alexander gets into. 85 speed, 86 acceleration, 91 strength, 91 tackle, 91 block shed, great power move, good finesse move. This card is your best defensive tackle in the entire game. I'm comfortable saying it because he is. Can stop the run, can get after the quarterback. Compare this to the 91 defensive tackle I went over earlier, and I would, but I don't even know exactly where he's at on here. This Bear Alexander is going to be the best defensive tackle in the entire game. A card that is I don't know what his price is going to be like, but at some stage, is going to be a card I pick up. We'll see what his price is like today, but Bear Alexander, probably my favorite card so far today that we have talked about. I mean, at the defensive tackle position, just an absolute stud of a player is Bear Alexander. Then we see an LTD, Zachariah Branch, 93 speed, great route runner. There's just no flaws in the card. He is going to be right now your best wide receiver in the game. Just know, like, you gotta limit your expectations on how long he's gonna be that good for, but there's just no flaws with Zachariah Branch. Now, don't think he's super tall. Like, I've watched him before. I don't think he's super tall. I'm gonna look up his exact height here for us, but I've watched him before. I don't think he's super tall. He's 5'10", so obviously he is taller than a guy like Rondale Moore, but that's not going to be, you're not going to throw like jump balls to him, but like catching the ball in the open field, hopefully his spin juke move is good. Again, we'll see that later, but Zachariah Branch is a beast of a card in this game. So I honestly, as far as cards I like the most, it's Bear Alexander. To me, he is the guy that I'm picking up today if he's not super expensive. As far as everybody else, they're good. Zachariah Branch obviously is a stud. That's going to wrap it up for our video today, guys. Let me know who you guys are most excited to pick up for your specific Ultimate team today, guys. Drop a like on the video, subscribe if you're doing. As always, man, I love you guys. Have a blessed day.